According to the CDC, lung cancer is the third most common form of cancer in the United States. More people actually die from lung cancer every year than any other type of cancer. So joining us now to talk about Kathy Griffin's diagnosis and how lung cancer affects women differently from men, Dr. George NIEVA, an oncologist at the Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center in Southern California. Dr. NIEVA, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole, for having me.
All right, so Kathy Griffin, 60 years old, says she was not a smoker. So this diagnosis really seems surprising, but you're an expert in this. Is this surprising to you?
It really isn't. We see about 12% of lung cancer cases in people who have never smoked cigarettes in their entire life. And about 20% of people who have lung cancer are non-smokers at the time they're diagnosed. So here in Los Angeles, where I work, it's even more common because we have large populations of people who don't smoke, people on the West Coast, they try to be very healthy. And despite that, we see quite a bit of lung cancer, even in non-smokers.
Well, Dr. NIEVA, why is that? Because I hear that as a non-smoker, that's very scary.
It is. And one of the trends that's been very concerning is that when you look at how often men versus women get lung cancer, the peak of cigarette smoking in the United States was 1984, and we've seen lung cancer cases in men go down very consistently since 1984 to lower levels. But women have not had that same benefit. Even though women have stopped smoking at the same rate of men, we've not seen a decline in lung cancer among women. So something else is clearly going on.
Well, something, yes, certainly going on. Okay, so it's gone down in men, has not gone down in women. Are there differences between what men and women may experience when it comes to some of the early warning signs?
As far as warning signs go, no, it's pretty similar for both, and that is very few warning signs. That's why in people who are at highest risk and people who are smokers, we now recommend annual low-dose CT scans in people who have the highest risk, and that's for smokers over the age of 55.
All right, and Dr. NIEVA, okay, so non-smokers can get lung cancer, obviously smokers can. What is the incentive for smokers to quit then if they hear that?
Well, your rates really do go down if you stop smoking. Even for women. So just because as a whole population, we haven't seen lung cancer rates drop in women, that doesn't mean that it's because smoking cessation didn't help them. Smoking cessation probably did, but there's probably other things that are taking an effect. Things like, higher levels of estrogen exposure in the population and things like that.
And Dr. NIEVA, not much time left, but really quickly. So Kathy Griffin will be able to breathe likely normally again after half of one of her lungs is removed?
Almost certainly. She's going to have very little effect. We've made tremendous strides in how lung cancer surgery is done. We now do these operations robotically. There's very small scars relative to what people had in the past. And especially for someone who's a non-smoker, fortunately, we have more lung than what we need if we don't destroy it with tobacco.
All right,
so
gotta go now. I'm so sorry to cut you off, Dr. NIEVA. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Banfield is next.